That was an interesting game. We ended up tying in the end, 13-13. But the biggest takeaway from this game is Trevor Siemian needs to be cut. Trevor Siemian is not our quarterback moving forward. Jake Browning looked immensely better in that second half than the first half. And I know you might say, well, that's because the first half it was a starting defense. Jake Browning looked good last week when the first half was Jake Browning. Jake Browning has looked good in both weeks back to back when he is the backup quarterback. Like, it doesn't matter where you put Jake Browning, he looks better. Key takeaways from this game on defense. Our first drive, we had a full defense out there. They went right down the field on us. They did. The Falcons do have a good offense in general. And you got to keep in mind that the first 15 plays of any games are scripted. It just is what it is. It's just 15 scripted plays. So they've been processing those 15 plays all week long. We're not showing our true, defense out there like the mad scientist Lou, because we're just running vanilla offense and vanilla defense. So I'm not really going to take too much away from our first drive. That's the first time our defense played all year long. They went right down the field on us. Mike Hilton got the ball tipped up in the air, and we got an interception. And I think, in all honesty, from that drive, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. And I think we did a pretty dang good job on that drive. The rest of the game, we had 4 sacks on defense, which was awesome. Again, like I said, yes, Jake Browning looked immensely better than Trevor Siemian did. And it looked like our offense really got going when Trevor Siemian was out of the game and Jake Browning was in it. We'll also say that Cody Ford could not play right tackle. He could not block worth a dang. Our offensive line really could not block today that much in the run game at all. Our run game was, awful except for the last touchdown by Chase Brown. But other than that, our offensive line was absolutely horrendous all game long. And it really, other than Jake Browning running the ball, wasn't anything special. Andre, just like the first, or Yoshi, just like the first game, he was targeted a lot in this game. 10 total targets, 5 of them came from 5 receptions in the end with 44 yards, which was pretty dang good. And looks like they just messed up the stats here. But anyway, though, overall, not bad. It looked like Jake Browning does have a connection with Jackson, which is actually kind of cool. He targeted him first 3 plays after being in the game. He started targeting him a lot. And it looks like overall wise, that was kind of his go-to guy. Jake Browning did not play perfect. He threw a stupid pass across his body, which was picked off when 3 defenders was right in front of him. And you don't want to see that type of stuff happen. And definitely, listen, he's not perfect. He, again, did not play perfect today. But he played better than Trevor Siemian, and that's really what you can take away there on that. Other than that, though, our receivers overall-wise looked pretty good. Charlie Jones did have a couple receptions, couple good plays. Nothing too crazy special, but he played good enough that I take away that he's a pretty good option. Jonah Williams did play tonight, but no one else on the starting offensive line played. We started off with Jackson Carman at left tackle. Then we had Max at right guard. We had right tackle, which was Jonah Williams. And then I think the center was Trey Hill. And left guard, I do not know still. I want to say it was starting off right away. I'm not sure. We could not figure this out during the live stream. But nonetheless, though, the offensive line, again, for pass blocking purposes, we got sacked, one time tonight? Yeah, one time tonight. Which actually is pretty dang good, especially when you look at last week. The quarterback pressures, I would say overall-wise, we would not pressure that much tonight. We definitely held our own against this defense and did a pretty decent job. So, really, our takeaway tonight is that while, yes, we still have to work on our secondary a little bit, we did see a huge play given up by Alan George, and on him and Jordan Battle. But other than that, our defense played pretty locked down all game long. There's not really any negatives I would say tonight. Yes, we didn't play the greatest, but again, a lot of it came down to our offense was very struggling and very, kind of sluggish. And if you look at how this went after the interception right here, where again, we had an interception by Joseph Asai. Other than that, turnover on downs, punt, field goal, punt, turnover on downs, field goal, touchdown, obviously, turnover on down, punt, interception, punt, touchdown, field goal, end of game. this was a very defensive game. This was a defensive battle back and forth. It wasn't really anyone's like, oh, one person's dominating the other. It seemed like pretty much the offense just couldn't get going, and the defenses did pretty dang well. Taylor Heineke did do a really good against our defense, and he moved the ball with ease against us. And that is definitely something that I have a problem with, is they did move the ball up and down the field against us. But every time they would get into field goal range, every time they would get in the red zone, they could think they got in the red zone twice tonight, we shut them down quickly. We absolutely took care of business, and we did not allow them to get any points. And that's, again, a really huge factor in all this. So overall, I gotta say, not bad. Overall, a decent performance out there. Definitely tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.